Have you ever wondered what it would sound like if you shouted into an 800-foot-long pipe open at both ends? No? Well, I'm about to do it, so I guess let's find out anyway.
Hello!
Now, if you listened carefully, you would have heard an echo. Now, try to think about why that might be. I mean, there's nothing for the sound to bounce off of. There's no wall or anything. It's just air. And if you listen even more carefully, you might have heard a second echo. Using Paul Falstad's ripple tank simulation, you can get a feel for what happens to a sound wave when it goes through a pipe. Notice that the sound wave outside the pipe weakens as it diffuses, but the portion of the sound wave trapped inside the pipe retains its strength until it finally comes out the other end, at which point, because it no longer has that ring of positive pressure around it, it simultaneously explodes in all directions, leaving a void to be filled, and that void travels back towards the beginning of the pipe as a negated version of that sound wave. Then the opposite of the original wave is emitted from the original end of the pipe. So if what you get back is the opposite of what you put in, why does it sound the same? We'll get to that. For now, just note that whenever a sound travels through a pipe open at both ends, it inverts itself every time it comes to an open end, and so what you're left with is one end of the pipe always emitting a positive version of that wave, and the other end always emitting a negative version of that wave. So what happens when a sound wave hits a wall? Well, it just goes back the way it came without inverting itself. In this case, since the sound wave is a void, it doesn't have access to any positive pressure to fill itself in, so it just has to go back to the original opening. So what you get with a pipe that's only open at one end is a sound wave that has to come back to where it came from to be emitted, and every time it does so, it inverts itself. So every time it comes back, it alternates between positive and negative. Notice that in the same length of pipe, it takes twice as long to go between positive and negative as the other sound wave did. Once you understand how sound behaves in an enclosed space, you can begin to understand how sound waves can be manipulated to create music.